Shalom. Our Torah portion for this week is Yitro. And in Yitro, we find the Aseret Dibrot, often referred to in English as the Ten Commandments. Now, the Ten Commandments have served as a foundation for human civilization for almost 3 millennia now. Every civilized man and woman on the face of the planet, in one way or another, subscribes to the moral and ethical precepts found in these statements. Well, throughout the generations, Jewish scholars have dug deep into the Ten Commandments to find novel and unique truths and relevancies within them. One sage in particular during the Middle Ages asked the question, why were these 10 statements, these 10 commandments, if that's what you like to call them, put on 2 tablets? There was 5 on each. He suggested that this was done so that we would compare certain commandments with each other. If we put the 10 statements or the 10 commandments side by side, we see that the first one lines up with the 6th one. The second one lines up with the 7th one, etc. What I'd like to discuss with you today is the comparison that we can make between the first statement and the 6th statement. Let's see what it says in the Hebrew. Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzeiticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mi beit avadim. I, the Eternal, am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. Lo tirtzach, you shall not murder. What can be the relevance, the comparison between the commandment or the statement, I am the Lord your God, and the commandment, thou shalt not murder? What do these 2 things have to do with each other? According to some of the sages over the centuries, these commandments go together because every human being is made in the image of God. To commit murder, to unnecessarily take the life of another human being, is in a way to efface the image of God. Every human being in one way or another manifests the divine image in life. In the Talmudic tractate, Sanhedrin, we have a number of teachings in this vein. One of them goes on to compare God with earthly or mortal sovereigns. In this particular tractate, in this particular passage, it's noted that every king, every sovereign on earth makes coins. And upon the coin, the sovereign, the king or the queen, puts their image on that particular coin. And every image is exactly like every other image. Well, God also instamps the divine image on God's coin. God's coin. Now, what is God's currency? According to the Talmud, God's currency is humanity. God impresses the divine image on every human being. And yet, unlike the mortal sovereign's coins, which are all the same, God's coins, God's currency, in every case is somewhat different. Every human being manifests God's image in his or her own particular and unique way. The Sanhedrin also tells us that to save one human life is equivalent of saving the entire world. Sanhedrin also teaches us that to take one human life is equivalent to destroying the entire world, because one human being, one man, one woman, one child has within them the potentiality of an entire world, the limitless possibilities that God has implanted within them. So when we compare that first statement, Anochi Adonai Elohecha, I am the Lord your God, with the sixth commandment, Lo Tirtzach, thou shalt not murder, we understand that there is a very deep and abiding concern for human life within our Jewish tradition. I hope that you will read this week's Torah portion and come to your own conclusions. Shabbat Shalom.